Okay. Oh, sorry. Me. Oh, this thing is on. Okay, folks. Just a little speculation here. I've got to oil this chair. I swear, man. It is getting a few years on, but like I said, hear that? It sounds like, hang on. Sounds like some strange animal farting. Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, and then, which is always a dangerous prospect. And I was like, because normally, if you folks know, I don't really do much on Sundays. Sunday is kind of like a day, where I actually got some sleep. It does happen. And I actually slept more than 5 hours. I'm not kidding. People think I'm crazy because I'm like, what do you mean you don't? My average sleep time is about roughly 5 hours. Ever since I went on a CPAP machine, I think the longest I usually sleep. I actually made it 8 hours about a month ago. But all right, I see some folks starting to trickle in. Okay, let's get some more folks in here before we start talking. Now, hello to all you folks who are just coming in. I know I'm not one of them big evil channels that has to come up with cute, taglines like, Doctor Who's dying. And I'm like, while we're on that really quick, isn't it funny how all these guys are now concerned about the ratings, especially the overnights, which really don't matter anymore. But the show's already been renewed. You're getting a 60th anniversary special. That's locked. That's confirmed. You're getting a Series 14 with a whole... it's locked. It's confirmed. Jodie Whittaker could go out there tomorrow and, well, according to them, they probably already have done this, eat a puppy on national television, and the show's still going to go on. Okay? And that's the way they make it sound. They make it sound like Chris Chibnall showed up at their house and, shot their rabbits and ate their dogs and ran over their cats and stuff like that. It's like, folks, it's a TV show. If you don't like what's going on, change the channel. We live in a time in history where there is more useless shit to watch than you can just comprehend on any given day. Oh, heck. My favorite one is, now get ready for this before we get into the meaty stuff, because I want some more folks trickle in. Say hello out there if you're on, because I can see it right here on the screen. But get ready for this. There are now channels. Now, you know about reaction videos, and I do like to watch them because it gives me a gauge, in most cases on how people receive episodes and things like that. Which is why I know why, the whole Chibnall-Whittaker era suck thing is a load of bull. There are negative reactors out there, and I've seen a very, very, limited supply of those. For the most part, when people watch Series 11 and onward, they react positively. Of course, not everyone likes every episode. That's just human nature. Also, people are going on about the ratings. I was like, guys, there are now more things out there than you can believe. Like, the overnight ratings came in on, crap. See, my brain just blanked. Legend of the Sea Devils at 2.2 million. Well, I'm not worried about that because, for one, somebody brought up an interesting point. Or a few. They put it up against Britain's Got Talent. They also put it on the first long weekend that the folks in Britain had, where there were no lockdown restrictions, which means people were actually out visiting families, enjoying the day, traveling, all those things they couldn't do last Easter. So yeah, also, like I said, I think the Easter special, they see this is what happens when you accommodate some folks out there. Oh, there's always weirdness going on out there. Count on it. But Doctor Who page brought up an interesting point. And just to be a stickler, I went back, because responsible journalists do this. I'm a journalist now. Oh, God, I remember when somebody else said that line. I'm not really a professional journalist, no. But I did go back and check on this. So let's read this. get ready, because this blew my mind. Okay, and sometimes that takes a lot. This is from 2020, and it's quoting a Radio Times article. Speaking to Radio Times, Chibnall said, quote, "To be honest, the canon of Doctor Who is filled with amazing characters. I'd love to see Ace back. I'd love to see Tegan back. I'd love to see Amy and Rory. The list goes on." That's 2020. And the only reason I remembered it is because I saw this post today, Doctor Who page on Facebook, and they brought up an interesting question. If he said this 2 years ago, and we now have seen Ace and Tegan in the trailer for the centenary. By the way, once again, that's the centenary 100th anniversary of the BBC, not Doctor Who. Okay, just for clarification, because apparently some folks have not let this sink into their brain pan yet. Okay, sorry about that. It gets a little frustrating, okay? And it brings up an interesting question, because if he said Ace and Tegan 2 years ago, and he also said Amy and Rory 2 years ago, what was this crazy man planning? Because I'm telling you this right now. I know I'm not really a big fan of it. I'm just speculating. Okay? Here's the factors that are against it, okay? For one, Karen Gillan is really freaking busy. All right? If he pulls this off, he is going to have all these naysayers, at least a good chunk of them, kissing his butt so hard he's not going to be able to sit down for the next 2 or 3 fiscal years. Because a lot of people were not happy with the way Amy and Rory went out, including, me and the 4 or 5 endings of The Angels Rape Manhattan. And a lot of people have been going off on me about using that title, but I'm like, that's the way. I didn't like Angels Take Rape Manhattan. It was a shit episode. Like I said, it's one of them episodes where I could have eaten a can of alphabet soup and taken a shit on a piece of paper and come out with a better script than this thing, which jumped all over the place. Not to mention the 3 or 4 endings. And then, oh, by the way, we're just going to take off and leave that weeping angel standing there in that cemetery. When Chibnall does this stuff, it's unforgivable. It's a terrible crime against nature. Nature. Oh, see, I used a cheap echo effect because I didn't want to bother. But I didn't like the way the pawns went out. No. Oh, no. The way that he wrote out Clara really pissed me off. Because now all of a sudden companions are becoming immortal super beings with their own TARDISes. Clara and me are both effectively immortal. They now have access to a TARDIS. By the way, that Clara learned to fly in under 5 minutes. And meanwhile, the Doctor's been struggling with his for how many frickin' millennia? Ugh. That's like saying I'm going to go out tomorrow and know how to drive standard. I'm just going to sit in the car and hit the clutch till I figure it out. Come on, this is a TARDIS we're talking about here, not a 3-speed Ford 60-something pickup, okay? All right, but no, I would not like to have Clara back. Clara, I think, was another case of they really told her story, and they ended it so well, and then for some reason they decided to bring her back again, only to kill her off and make her effectively immortal. I like the way she went out in Face the Raven. She faced her fate. She faced it bravely. She accepted responsibility for her actions. And a character can't go out any better than that. You can't. You could still see the fear in her eyes, but she still stood and faced the consequences of her actions. And the whole me thing, yeah, what happened to the other person who got made immortal by the super hybrid chip, from the, what's her name, what do they call them? The Meyer. Does that mean the Mire are running around effectively immortal? Because if they develop the technology, oh well. But that's a whole other subject. I just wanted to. When I saw this intrigued me. Because this is legit. I actually double checked this. That Chibnall said 2 years ago. Like, did this man have machinations, beyond our comprehension 2 years ago? Because, yeah, I even, sorry, that's a whole nother search engine there. See, that's where I stole my thumbnail. Oh, okay. I'm on the wrong tab. Duh! So, yeah, I even looked it up right here. Here it is. February 20th, 2020. And that quote is now sticking me in the brain. Like, could there have been something going on here? Did he actually have this plan? Okay, here's the thing. All right, Philip, I love you, brother. I really do. It's just a roll call fest. Yeah, you were a fan of the 5 Doctors. You were a fan of the 3 Doctors. You were a fan of Waycott. Yet, when somebody else does it, it's nostalgia. It's Waycott. It's roll call fest. But the thing is, we really don't know what's going on in the centenary. We don't know how long it is at this point. The problem is when the BBC say feature length now, it's like they think 75 minutes was feature length, which was a big deal they made back in Day of the Doctor. I remember all these people making videos going, I think 75 minutes is long enough. Yeah, really? Okay, let's put that in context. The 5 Doctors, including credits, was 90 minutes. The 3 Doctors, including credits, was 100 minutes. Yet our 50th anniversary is 75 minutes. And by the way, just for reference, The End of Time Part 2. The End of Time Part 2. Part 2. Which was David Tennant's swan song. Was 75 minutes. They gave him practically a whole season to bow out as the Doctor, but you get to your halfway anniversary, your 50th anniversary, and it's like, I want 3D. Oh, God. All right, but I don't think you're never going to see Eccleston again as the Doctor, except on audio. Are you kidding me? I can't get William Shatner in here. Are you nuts? Oh man, trust me. There are celebrities I really tried to get back in the day because I shot high. I really shot high. I'm not kidding. The problem with celebrity interviews mainly is scheduling. Plus, there are a few that are going to ask you for money. All the ones I had on my channel, I didn't pay at all. Those were all free. That was them actually giving their time to fans, and I'll be forever grateful for that. That was amazing. But then you got others who'll ask about how much money you were intending to pay, and then turn around and say they didn't ask the question. And I really wish I'd kept that email rather than dumping it once I read that, because then someone accused me of lying about it. I'm like, why would I lie? I had nothing against this person. I didn't really go on the air and go on about it either. I was like, I have nothing. I had no personal agenda. But then it turns out the whole thing was a lie. That's a whole other story. Trust me, you wouldn't believe this. This was a riddle wrapped inside an enigma inside an egg roll. Oh, man. Okay, I could go on for hours, but no, there's no way in hell, because William Shatner, there's no way a small-time broadcast like mine would even interest him, let alone thing. I would love to interview William Shatner. The problem is, it would be like him speaking for like a half hour, and me sitting there going, Kirk is on my show. That's Captain Kirk. That would be it. Okay. I'm not kidding. I would like be really struck. Plus, like I said, the guy charges like 100 and something bucks a signature. Imagine how much he's going to charge for like a 15-minute or even maybe 20-minute interview. Plus, I'm sure it'll be yeah, T.J. Hooker. I do remember, by the way. I actually watched that back in the day. Oh, hell, that's like everybody seems to forget all the other things. I'd have to ask him about how the Priceline thing is going. Uh, Priceline negotiator. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, it's just a bit of fun speculation at this point. Okay, I just thought it was interesting, and Doctor Who page did caught this. They brought this up, and I just wanted to go on about it for a little bit because it's interesting how those specific names were mentioned in an interview 2 years ago, and then and now we have those two definitely coming back. Also, like I said, I didn't like the way Amy and Rory went out. It was just silly. The end. This was the end result of Karen Gillan wanted Amy Pond to be retired in such a way that she could not be recovered, but also did not want her dead. And that's how you came up with the stupidest thing you've ever heard in Doctor Who called the quote-unquote, "you're creating fixed time. I can never go back to that area of New York or be anywhere near you again." Which I thought was very interesting because, we know Moffat addressed this a bit in, that evil special that didn't mention Christmas, the return of Dr. Mysterio. Which, by the way, I loved. I thought it was a beautiful homage to, superhero figures, comic book figures, and things like that. And also, given the trend of that time, and look at how far comic book movies and storylines like that have advanced now, since then, with Avengers and whatnot. Speaking of Avengers, you think Brie Larson is actually going to own any of those cars she advertises? But okay, that's just me. I had to bring this up because I'm constantly seeing those articles on the streaming thing. Is anyone out there? Because you're awfully quiet. Is that chat thing even working? Hang on, let's see. I'm gonna play with my tablet. Yeah, drunk Mark Strickson. Oh God, I wish I'd had video capability for that one. Oh man, because I saw the video of that. Sadly, I didn't have. Okay. All right. Also, let's bring up another interesting thing, and someone just reminded me of this one. I did see this one. Yes, thank you, Fraser. He saw this on Twitter. All right, let's see if I can bring this up real quick. Check this out. I feel like I'm on a Klingon battle bridge. I wanted prisoners! Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get this out of here. I'm glad he sent me that because I'm sorry, it just went awfully quiet there. I felt like I was like, oh my God, they're deserting me. The ship is sinking. Ah! Ah. Arr, Mr. Herman, the ship be sinking. Grab Ryoki and Baby Yoda and jump for the lifeboat. Okay, yeah, he's still got his Christmas shirt on, unfortunately. We've been rather busy around here. And yes, that's Ryoki, and for you folks who want to know who the hell Ryoki is, Tenchi Muyo, little rabbit, half cat, whatever it was. Get that out of here. Okay. I usually don't get to wear the tri-corner hat, and of course, thanks to all this pirate stuff going on, I now got a chance to. All right, let's get to this tweet he was talking about. He sent me this in my box, so let's click on it. All right. Let's go to. All right, hang on. He said it was under Whovians Unite. Let's see if it's still here. Okay, may have to send myself the link to this one. All right, because all right, it was a ways back, I guess. Okay. Told you he sent me this. So let's go check this out. There we go. Let's see if I can turn this.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff.
Been busy, yeah, so that was out yesterday. They can catch that on Netflix yesterday.
Yes, catch it yesterday.
Catch it yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, go back.
Go back in time.
Yeah, go back and catch it yesterday. Brilliant.
Did y'all catch that last line? Did y'all hear that? Let me play that. Yeah, yeah. He's this little guy. I've had this thing for about 1 billion years. Okay. Yeah, for you folks, yeah, you're a fan of the classic Tenchi Muyo. That's where this is from. See, look, special effects. All right, there we go. That's Ryoki. And by the way, this is a backpack. This thing has been sitting in a drawer, doing this. See, look, there's a little zipper on the back. So that's Ryoki, yeah, for you who are interested. Okay. But let me play that one more time for you folks who may not have heard it. I don't know if you heard it or not. I don't know how the sound's working. But listen very closely here.
Well, congrats on this series. Congrats on the Nan movie as well.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff.
Been busy, yeah, so that was out yesterday. They can catch that on Netflix yesterday. Yes,
Catch it yesterday.
Catch it yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, go back.
Go back in time.
Yeah, go back and...
Did y'all hear that? Okay. All right. Yeah, it might be my folks. But at the end of the things, they're saying, yeah, go back. And then she looks at the camera, gives a kind of look, and goes, go back in time. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Because there's been a lot of speculation about one of the names that keeps coming up revolving the centenary is Catherine Tate. Like I said, company support group. There we go. Were you a victim of the doctor? You might be entitled to compensation. Oh, did he drag you through time and space without a buy or leave and then suddenly just dropped you off when things got interesting? Did you develop funny feelings or emotions that were unreturned, so he kicked you to the curb and picked up another time hussy? Do you feel left out, or do you feel like you've been injured? You may be entitled to compensation. Contact the Gallifrey Lawyer Association. Oh, God. What? I can see that now. That would be, that'd be an interesting commercial to film, wouldn't it? Okay. Okay, sorry, there we go. Now it'll pop up. I don't know why, but messages pop up there first before they pop up here. I've been rewatching. All right, I don't see this drop in quality, now so many people go on about. Yeah, Mr. TARDIS Reviews. If you're not watching his channel, me and Mr. TARDIS have been on the opposite ends things every now and then. But one of the things is he sees what's going on. I'm not kidding. Go watch his videos on this stuff. He breaks down like a lot of things. Like there was a couple of guys, like one guy who, what was it? He was one of them guys who pops up with the clever cartoon character, never shows his face. Yet he's going on, first thing he says, I don't really watch Doctor Who, but then it goes on to start attacking the Whittaker era, this, that, these, and those like mad. And it's like, you've already said you don't watch the show, so how do you suddenly know all about it? So, yeah, you're true. Yeah, it is true. That might be a concern, Black Phoenix. You don't want them to over stuff. Like, to me, I would just be happy with, like, just if it was just, Ace and Tegan. Like I said, Ace's ending was never really resolved in the show. You got to remember, last time we saw Ace on screen was her and the Doctor walking off into the thing with the speech, and then the show was canceled. And that was at the end of Survival back in '89. And then that was it. If you wanted to hear any more about Ace, you had to either listen to Big Finish, or she does address some of the issues in At Childhood's End. Which, by the way, if you can get the audiobook version. It's Sophie reading the book, and she does a killer 13 impression. And no, I'm not spoiling you, because when you get it right there, 13's on the cover in the background. So Ace reunites with the Doctor, and like I said, there's a lot of obvious tension there. I don't want to ruin it for you. If you've not listened to this book, please go get it. Sophie Aldred wrote this, and it's a very touching adventure. I really enjoyed that book. That's another thing I forgot to talk about recently, is the fact that, you're right. Thank you, Alistair. We're getting The Fugitive Doctor. Yeah, matter of fact, I might have an article on that. Let's see. Look at all these special effects. Oh, yes. His Firefox is amazing the shit out of me. All right. Oh, there's that other... Well, that's probably the only Star Trek show I watch now. Picard. Love it. Okay, if you ever get a chance, watch that. It's hilarious. Okay, moving forward. Hey, Perry, want to see my Mesos triangle? Okay, get... move. I'm probably going to get copyright struck for, humming Powerhouse. I just saw an article about this. All right. You see, I thought I was going to have this cute article I could bring up, right? Oh, there we go. All right. Da-da! He found it! Okay. Now get to it, you lazy shit. Okay. Here's another thing I didn't talk about. Yeah, Fugitive Doctor and The Master are getting their own Big Finish audio series already. Where is Capaldi? That's the one question in my mind. Why the hell don't we have Peter Capaldi on yet? Okay, Yeah. Yeah, blind. Yeah, that one blind chick. Yeah, you gotta. I feel weird referring to you by that name. But that's your handle, so I gotta. Okay, quote, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I preferred Eccleston Tennant, but I actually prefer Capaldi through Whittaker. If I really have to be really, really honest with myself, they weren't that great. Nostalgia. So, yeah, I can see where you're going there. A lot of people seem to hold Tennant up as the absolute pinnacle of Doctor Who. And a lot of that revolves around the grand, big, fat ratings they were getting back when the show first started. And I keep reminding people over and over, and like I said, I got scolded a little bit about this on another podcast. I don't want to name it because I love that show. But I was like, look, you got to sit there and look. Back when, Voyage of the Dam aired, there were no streaming services. Nothing. It was literally... Well, it's not smoke, it's steam. For you steampunk people. Yeah, I quit smoking back in 2016. Thank God. Oh, God. I used to hate that. I miss my smoker's hack. Waking up every day having to cough up abundant forms of phlegm that could not be ejected because the little hairs in my lungs had been killed by all the carbon monoxide going through them. So I love this stuff. My doctor loves this stuff, man. Because I'm literally down to a 3 on the nicotine level now. So I'm next stop is 0. Now, I don't have the CBD stuff, okay? Yeah, but I feel kind of awkward referring to you as blind chick, okay? It's but if you're not uncomfortable with that, we'll go with that. All right, okay, let's see. Okay, so, Fugitive Doctor, and it's getting a series with Joe Martin. And, of course, Call Me Master with Sacha Dhawan. And I thought that was amazing as hell that this is going to go on already, given the fact that the Whittaker era is just now coming to an end on the air. That's why I die laughing when there's folks out there going, when's Chibnall and Whittaker leaving so we can get some good writing back on Doctor Who. It's you've had good writing on Doctor Who, you just didn't want to pay attention. But I keep reminding these guys, they're gone. They've been gone since October of last year. Oh, that's scary. I might just remember that name, Genevieve, because That's my mother-in-law's name. That's Lady Gallifrey's mom's name, Genevieve, and she hates it though. We have to call her Skip. She hates being called Genevieve. It drives her nuts. But that's why I think I can remember that. Genevieve, okay. Okay, why wouldn't, yeah, I could see Jodie doing Big Finish if she wants, because you got to remember, she's going to be busy raising, she's got a bun in the oven. She had a bump going on there, and she's going to be spending some time, as Eve Miles would say, raising the bump. So, raising the bump, that don't even sound right. But okay, but she's going to want to spend some time with her kid and all that, and her kids. She's done a lot of intense filming for the last couple of years. Maybe you want to spend some time with the husband and all that, and that would be a perfect way to do it. She could record Big Finish lines from literally anywhere. I know Sophie Aldred, I think, did them from a cupboard. I think Tom Baker has his own audio recording studio in his house. That way he doesn't have to go to the Big Finish studio. I know, I think Mark Strickson mentioned that oh, you changed your name, did you? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's just that's my mother-in-law's name, just out of coincidence. There, yeah, it's Genevieve. But she hates it. I don't know why. It's her thing. Okay, so back to the beginning speculation, because we've been going on for about a half hour. And I didn't really intend this one to be that long. I just thought it was an interesting bit of speculation that they brought up here. All right. Duh. I done lost it. Okay. Back here, okay. That they mentioned this article in February of 2020. And then if you go back here a little ways, I don't feel like going back to look for it. They brought it up again today. That he brought up, I'd love to see Ace back. I'd love to see Tegan back. And I'd love to see Amy and Rory. So, that is an interesting bit. Oh, look, there's my hashtags I saved, Not like they do me much good, but okay, I can agree with you on that. Yeah. Like I said, I think also you got to remember, here's one thing. If Jodie goes to Big Finish, they can't blame Chibnall anymore. And the thing is, that's why I die laughing when they're still blaming Chibnall now. They're acting like Chibnall wrote the entire thing going all the way back to Series 11. There were multiple writers, there were multiple directors. I don't know why they keep saying it's all bad. Folks, it was like any other group of seasons we've had before. There were good episodes, there were bad episodes. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Like I said, I rarely get one, so I appreciate any, that people hit. Thank you, Genevieve, that one blind chick. Anything's appreciated. I love that. Thank you. Any little bit helps, Okay, so also a reminder for you folks out there before I go. The parking lot videos are back. For those of you who haven't heard yet. What happened was Lady Gallifrey went out. She said, "I want new internet plan, you bastards." Well, not in that kind of voice. Just, think, well, it probably was in that kind of voice. But she arranged the whole new internet package. Because the package we were on before really sucked. Yeah, I got to agree with you. Chibnall did a lot better with the Daleks, I think, than Moffat did. Moffat had his hit and misses, but, it got to be a while the Gallifreys were like jokes. I mean, not the Gallifreys. I mean, the Daleks were like jokes. God, my brain just flashed there, didn't it? He's having an Alzheimer's moment. Okay. So, like I said, we don't know who all in total is coming back. We don't know. I've heard several different theories on what the storyline's going to be for the centenary. But like I said, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, it's hard sorting through the bullshit. It really is, because you've got groups of people out there now whose only purpose in life is to pump out false information about things and then sit there, wiggle their wieners, and touch themselves in funny places when, some of us get it fed back to us, and there's folks who fall for it. I did with Chaos in Cardiff, I'm not going to lie. It was getting fed to several of my different sources who were all feeding it to me, and it was coming from so many directions it seemed like it was true. Not unlike, somebody out there who's been predicting that Jodie Whittaker's been leaving since June of 2017 or July 2017 when she was announced. She's going to be a 1-season doctor. She's going to be a 2-season doctor. And then finally, when Chibnall and Whittaker announced they're going to leave, he comes out like the high grand prophet Nostradamus and claims, I saw it all along. I'm sorry, but to be evil, that's like me pointing at somebody randomly on the street and goes, someone you know has died recently, within the past year. One of those John Edward type of deals. Okay, so it's just a fun bit of speculation, given what we've seen. Chibnall said 2 years ago in the Radio Times, apparently, that he'd like to see Ace back, he'd like to see Tegan back, and Amy and Rory Pond. Well, we know 2 of those boxes have been ticked already. Is he going to go for doors 3 and 4 as well? Only time will tell. As I get more info in, I'll let you know, okay? Like I said, right now this was just a fun bit of speculation. Doctor Who page, I got to thank him, There's their information right there on Twitter. There's their information right there on Facebook. Go look them up. I thought it was an interesting piece of info. And maybe, we could have a little fun speculating on it. Okay, folks, please take care of yourselves and others. If I don't say it, enough, I'll say it again. Be kind, be calm, be safe. But especially above all things, please be kind. And, take care of yourselves and others out there. And, as I usually do every morning, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours.